this? Why would the major do something like that? Why can you party and decide where it's safe? And I can prove to you why they know they can decide it's safe. Because they know they can just do it and you can't shame them because they are doing good by making you. Hey ladies and gentlemen, good day. We are going to see the society that is going to take care possible of your future kids.
I'm just gonna say, if I see any of you little fricks at school without a mask on, be prepared to get decked in the mouth.
You know what's weird? For the amount of Asians getting decked in the mouth right now in USA, you seem to have quite a weird opinion. So, you know it's bad. You know it's happening. And your response is, well, some people are keep targeting the Asian people. I'll guess I'll just deck everybody in the mouth because I have a reasonable reason about the mask. Which has been cancelled. Oh my god. And by the way, schools, even if it's cancelled, they're still doing it. So it's not by law. But now it's your uniform to put on a mask. Woo!
I teach my elementary school students about gender identity. Learning about gender identity helps children develop critical social-emotional skills such as self-awareness, social awareness, and respect. I teach my students that there's a whole spectrum of gender identities and that everyone, whatever their gender, deserves love and respect. Some people are girls, some are boys, some are both, some are neither. Gender is all about how we feel on the inside and how we express ourselves. The most important thing I teach my students is that it's our job to listen to and learn from people when they share with us who they are, and that we need to use the name and the pronouns that people ask us to use when we refer to them. Here are some of the books and tools that I found the most useful when teaching about gender identity.
I don't mind if you tell a boy you are comfortable in your feminine feeling or masculine feeling. Or a woman, vice versa. You know where I'm coming. But you know what I find weird is that you consider that the most important aspect of their identity. As if having the right identity is gonna give them the right confidence to go forward in the world. I don't think that is the solution. Because if I meet a gay guy, right? I don't judge him by his gayness. I judge him on how good he is working, how confident he is, how consistent he is by having a normal relationship by my standard, and not by normal man and body, that's like man and girl or whatever. No, I'm not saying that. That even if you date a man or a woman, whatever you identify is, that you're a consistent good person. Teach people how to be a consistent good person. Not that they need to identify you, no, that you provide something amazing regardless of your gender. If you cannot provide that, I don't care whatever you identify. I don't want to be your friend if you're a sucky friend, whatever gender you are. That's the problem. You don't got focus on that.
So this is just one example of thin privilege, and an example of how hard it is for women of size to find anything to wear. You see all these racks upon racks of straight size clothing. Tons of options. And then for plus size women, you have about 6 racks. And even then, you have limited sizing. We need to do better. It's just not.
We don't need to do better if you're fat. You know why? Because being fat is not something that's going to benefit you in the long run. You can ask most fat people, the older they get, the more condition they start having, they realize, hey, maybe it's actually my fault. Because if you are confident in your fatness in a long way, it's really hard to stop. You can't just click it. Your body is already accustomed and it expects that food. It will save that food. You got used to that. And when you want to turn it off, it's hard. Now you can be like, I feel beautiful Gucci. But when you start having issues, walking or whatever, and then you have to go to the hospital taking all this extra medicine that our taxpayers' money usually has to pay it, because if not, you're gonna die. Look, I don't know where you're coming from. I'm not gonna make a bunch of clothes to make you feel comfortable at the size that I am not comfortable. Because maybe you don't know it. Most of these people are kids without experience, and people pander to these kids because kids is a great part of the economy. They make parents buy stuff they don't really want to buy for the kids. So you have a weird mentality, and I'm gonna have to change it to make you feel comfortable in the society? You're gonna have issues anyway. Why do you want to reach a point with a smile? Or you're gonna reach it anyway with a sad face, because at the same time, you're gonna go to a hospital, that smile is gonna be a sad face, and you're gonna be like, yo, make me smile again. No! I've seen too many fat people in my family die for stupid reasons. And you know what they say? But I got one life. I like to eat. If I'm gonna die fat, let me die fat. Okay, be honorable about it. Take it like a woman or a man or non-gender transparent person. Cool. But don't try to blame me. It's your mouth. Your mouth, your choice.
So I've been up since 5. Hey family, it's your Auntie Katie. Hey family, it's your Auntie Katie. So I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning. For those of y'all that don't know, I had bottom surgery at the end of August, and I had to be off my hormones for 2 weeks prior to that, which means they flushed out of my system. So after I started them back up, it takes a couple of months for them to really kick back in. And so as of 5 o'clock this morning, I've been dealing with some really bad cramps because it's that time of the month again. That's starting back up. I didn't miss it, to be honest, for the 2 months that I had freedom. So anyway, that's my day. I just hope that your day started off better and it continues to be better, because this is not fun. This is not fun. Anyway, we are all valid, and I will talk to y'all later.
Hi people. I know the feeling about that's interesting. So when you take your hormones, you don't get your period anymore? That would be quite comfortable for some women if you actually think about it. I'm not gonna lie. But hey man, seeing this stuff on List of TikTok, they're fun.
I'm fucking broke. You see me empty, like. Fucking broken. You see me empty, license.
I would only accept that if somebody is allowed to wear Trump clothes or DeSantis. If they're allowed, she is allowed. If this is not allowed on the other side, nah man, we want consistency. It has to be fair so we can come to an agreement. Got the moves! As schools in New Orleans continue to require masks, the major is out dancing and partying maskless. I don't like this. Why would the major do something like that? Why can you party and decide where it's safe? And I can prove to you why they know they can decide it's safe. Because they know they can just do it and you can't shame them because they are doing good by making you wear the mask. He can't see. The dog can't even see. Oh my god, people. There's this video that a person was afraid that her dog might get COVID. I was like, okay man. Okay man. And she was crying. So this woman, Roxanne Gay, is saying that, hey, I'm going to remove my podcast from Spotify because she's like, you know what? Joe Rogan is spreading misinformation, which is very bad, right? And when I look at her picture right here, all I can say is this is a woman that's actually worried about your health and not hers, because she knows what's important.
I'm going to put aside the fact that those arguments, the arguments that it's for attention, that it's egotistical, that it's mental illness, have been used against binary trans people for as long as we have existed. We're going to put that aside because I know most of the people who will view this will be smarter than you. Let's look at another angle that people don't talk about enough. This is white supremacy. This is the insistence that the binary, or slightly altered binary, now that, you know, white trans people are becoming mainstream, to include they as the only single neutral pronoun we can use. That is white supremacy. For longer than me and you have been on this earth, for longer than transgender has been a word, there have been expressions of gender that do not mirror the binary. There have been a myriad of pronouns. There have been a myriad of language. There have been languages that don't even have gender. Do you understand? Do you understand that the way you think is not the way the rest of the world thinks, and that your universal truth, what is true for you, is not true for every other goddamn person that lives on this earth, and you imposing your rules of language, your rules of culture, your understanding on them is an incredibly stupid and somewhat violent thing to do. And it is no different than the cisgender patriarchy, the oppression of trans people being put onto people like me and you.
I'm part of the cisgender patriarchy. I'm going to tell you something that just shuts you up. All you said is just jibber jabber, and I'm not going to use your pronouns the way you are suggesting it because it's narcissistic and you push it in my face. Guess what? I speak a language called Papiamento. We don't have gender. My language was made out of having masters like the Portuguese, the Spanish, the Dutch, and the English. And the island, they dropped all the African people on the same island that were too sick during the travel, and they thought they were not going to be productive. So they dumped them on my island and went for America. These people that stayed on the island, when they came back to check on them, they were like, hey, you're kinda cured. Did the island cure you? We're gonna call it Curaçao, which for the Portuguese, they might understand it like heart healer. So they healed on the island and they took them back as a slave and thought, if they are healthy, maybe we can survive on this island. And there were so many different languages, so many different masters, because they kept changing, of course. It was the dumping ground. We created a language and we had to simplify it. But by simplifying it, and now that I speak that language normally, I don't go to other people be like, yo, I don't have gender in my freaking language. Use this. We don't do that. We can't force somebody to speak a language. Are you freaking kidding me? That's like saying when I go to a different island or a place or whatever, you are obligating me to speak in a different way. You won't take that because you're like, I'm an immigrant. You have to understand. Well, what you're doing is the same. You are telling somebody new, you have to use this pronoun. How is that different?
If masks are eliminated from schools, you are making students themselves assassins in their own communities and families. Have the political will to do the right thing and err on the side of caution. I can tell you from personal experience, doing the right thing is not easy. Nothing worth doing ever is. And JFK said, we do these things not because they are easy, but because they are hard. You are elected to do the hard things. Please have the political will to do the right thing and make sure masks continue protecting everyone in schools and outside as best as you possibly can. Thank you for listening to myself and the ideas of my colleagues. I appreciate your time.
Okay, I'm going to tell you, not because this is easy, it's because it's actually hard and I believe you can also do it. Stop eating so much. Maybe when you get the freaking COVID, you're not gonna be like, oh man, the disease is racist. Okay? Well, I think I reached the end. Lips of TikTok is amazing. You can see how crazy the world is being created, educated, and if you're a kid lost these days, hey man, you're gonna get the love from the school, and I don't know, they're gonna educate you in a way that maybe you're gonna regret in your 30s and 40s. Just take that in consideration. Even if you don't agree with the parents or whatever, just take it in consideration. Everybody reaches that moment. If they did something they wanted or not, they start to realize, maybe I am a dumb idiot. Maybe I shouldn't do certain things that are permanent in my life, and maybe I should enjoy it or be more productive so I can chill better than the other people in the 30s and 40s, because I'm seeing some benefits that I don't see other people take. Life is Gucci. And before you come with this mass thing, bada beam, bada boom, today we're going to end the video in a different way. Look at this, and I hope to see you guys next time. Peace.
בהחלטת הממשלה הוחלט שמהיום לא צריך מסכות גם בכיתה.